Hi, and welcome back to Cheryl in the Woods. Today's video is going to be about how to make raking leaves a lot easier. When you have a lot of leaves like I do, living in the woods especially, you got to figure out ways to make it a lot easier for yourself. So you're going to see some tricks on how I've done that. Also featured in the video, if you like ASMR effects, the sound of raking leaves is really a great thing to listen to. If you don't care to listen to that part, just speed through it. No problem with that. And if you hang in there long enough, you're going to discover with me what I have discovered and uncovered as I was raking those leaves. Also in the video, in the beginning part, I'm going to talk about how to protect yourself from getting ticks, because ticks are often living under the leaves. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, give me a like and subscribe. Thanks.
All right. Hello again. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you what I do when I rake up leaves. It's one of my least favorite things to do in the fall, but because it's so beautiful out here, I don't mind it so much. First thing I'm going to do though is get my work shoes on. Here's a little tip and trick for you. When you're outside working in leaves, a lot of times the ticks are everywhere and you don't want them crawling up your legs. So put on a pair of long socks. And make sure the socks go up your pants and over on top of your pants, because that way if a tick gets on you, it's not going to crawl up inside your pant leg and get up inside your clothing. And as soon as I'm done putting my shoes on, I'm also going to spray with a flea and tick spray. I use Deep Woods spray. So when you spray, get it all over your shoes, all around your leg, up to about your knee. You don't want to get a tick on you. They carry Lyme disease. Okay. I'm going to work on this area right here. We get so many leaves that it's not just a one and done. This usually takes us 3 times at least, doing this many leaves each time before the season's completely done and it's all cleaned up. So the first thing I'm going to do though is rake from here down to the end of that deck right there. I'm going to make a row of leaves. It's best to rake leaves when they're dry, because when they're wet, they're heavier. So as I do this, I have quite a few leaves in a fairly large yard, and I'm going to make several rows just like this one all around the yard. And then I'm going to show you how I quickly gather them up. Now if you have something like a vacuum or something that sucks them right up, that's wonderful, but this is what you do when all you have is a rake and yourself. Picking up 6. It's always better to get all your leaves off the ground before the snow comes. Once that happens, you're going to be stuck with a mess in the spring, and that's really a lot more work to get them up after they've laid under snow for a whole winter. All right, I've made my row, and now I'm going to grab a tarp and a big long board and set it out so that I can rake the row of leaves right onto the tarp and drag them off into the woods. This is a leftover piece of trim, and it works perfectly. It's not a heavy board, but it's long, which is what I need to place it on the tarp, so that the tarp will stay in place as I rake the leaves onto the tarp. I'll show you what I mean. So what I've done here is I've laid the tarp down, and now I need to put the board across on top of the tarp, or else when I rake, it's just going to pull the tarp over. So I just go like this. You want to stand on the board to hold it down as you rake the leaves onto the tarp. That way you get the entire row and you don't get all tangled up on the tarp because the board's holding it down. If you don't have a board, just use something long. It doesn't have to be a board. So that looks like this. I'm not going to get any more on this tarp, so I have to take it out and drag it into the woods now. Just remove the board. Okay. So now you can watch me as I drag the leaves out into the woods. You want to grab all the corners, or as many as you can handle, so that leaves don't fall out. And just drag it out to where you want to dump it. So now I'm going to set it up for the next section. I'm going to do the same thing. If you have a larger tarp, you can get more in one section. Hopefully the weather will hold out and not rain, so we can get more leaves up. There's so many different ways you can get leaves up when you have a lot like I do. I'm showing you the way that you would do it if you don't have any expensive equipment like blowers or a lawnmower that can pick them all up. This is what you would do if all you had was a rake. And believe me, it's a tiring job. The hardest thing to do is to not get discouraged when you wake up the next day and everything you did is completely covered with leaves again. But that's just the way Mother Nature is. She's going to drop her leaves, and you just kind of work along with her. And like I said before, it normally takes at least 3 good rakings before everything is down off the trees and cleaned up out of your yard. So you just have to kind of psych yourself up for it, that that's going to be the job. Like I said before, one year we didn't get a chance to do this at all, and in the spring it was so much harder to pick up the leaves. It was just layers of leaves like that thick, smashed down by snow and ice all winter, and it was so much heavier. None of this is heavy work. It's just a lot of walking, bending, stretching. For most of you people out there, you'll be able to do it just fine. If you're of my generation, you might have to take a hot bath later just to ease your aches and pains. Oh, I just uncovered something. I'm going to come and show it to you close up. Not only do ticks like to be in these leaves, but these little woolly bear, I call them woolly bear caterpillars. He's all curled up because he's scared. You've probably seen these guys before. They're harmless, I think. Look at him. He was hiding underneath the leaves. I'm just going to put him back on the ground. He'll find a place to go. So if you have a lot of trees in your yard, even if it's a small yard, try this method. If you don't have anything but a rake, it does make things easier. One of the tricks I also like to do is if I'm not in the mood for putting it on the tarp and dragging it a million times, I'll make all my rows, do all that all around the yard, and then the next day I'll pick them up. It doesn't seem to feel so bad that way because you get a rhythm going, and that's normally what I would do. But so that's all I wanted to show you about this video, and I hope that helps you. If you like what you saw, give me a like, thumbs up, and I hope that you would subscribe to my channel to learn more about things to make life easier. Let's do it together.